or put the first letter and the numbers and then the rest of it. So it just really throws off hackers. Hackers, I don't know if all of you heard about the McDonald's hack that just happened for the employees that were applying to McDonald's. They were using the passcode 12345. Yep. Yeah, and that's how they got broken into their AI system that was actually doing all the pre-interviews, and they hacked the system of McDonald's. Now, if you don't know, just at the end of last year, the famous museum, the Louvre, got heisted. Somebody was trying to figure out what the password was. It was Louvre with a few numbers. That was it. Not a good password. So the other thing is never use the name of a family member, never use the name of your company, never use the name of your favorite pet, because if you talk about those ever to anybody or on social media, they're easy to guess. So then I ended up going from Schlumberger. I worked for a company called CTIP, Society International Day Telecommunications Aeronautics. And they found I was really good at project management also. But this is back in the days where in IT, we didn't just do, the computers, we did everything, including the cybersecurity. And I worked with 220 countries and regions around the world. We were the network for the whole entire airline industry around the world. And that's the one thing they shared. They just competed on the moving people, moving cargo. So there was constantly, Mac, where you were saying that you're finding that you're getting hacked by all kinds of countries. No, this was just a normal. So we had what was called a DMZ, a demilitarized zone. But basically, it's a place where we can put things in there that possibly do not work well with us. Like for Iran, I had a server in the United States, but it had to be in the DMZ because two countries don't like each other. And we don't want anything to cross. So that's the next thing you need to consider for your businesses and all that is how are you actually separating your stuff? Meaning, do I have everything in the same place? If you do, if one goes down because it gets hacked, they all go down, and you don't want that to happen. The other thing is, what are your backups? And don't be like most, every organization, the majority of organizations have one big problem. They tell you they back up, but they never test them. Never. They're like, oh, but it's at Iron Mountain. Well, that's great, but have you tested it? Have you tried to see if it'll come back? Well, why would I do that? Well, what if everything goes down? Yeah, Jim, I see your face. You know what I'm talking about. So you need to also be that way about your business and your personal. What are you going to do if you lose all your stuff? What are you going to do if you don't remember it? Now, I use an acronym called ICE, in case of emergency. So for personal, you should have an in case of emergency, an ICE thumb drive. 3 copies. 1 at the house that you update all the time, preferably in a fireproof box. 1 in a safe deposit box, and 1 somewhere else where nobody can get it. And for personal, I would have things like all your emails in a spreadsheet. Hopefully, you can just print that out and write the passcodes because you don't want to get that drive stolen. Credit card information, passport information, insurance information, you name it. You want all of that on one drive. For your business, I would have an ICE drive too, especially if you're a small businessman or a woman. You want to keep that also, because what happens if, just a natural disaster, everything from an earthquake, hurricane, snowstorm, or flood or fire. Yes, Jim?
Change from if to when.
I'm trying to be nice. Don't scare them too bad. Yes, it is usually when. It's not usually if. But the best thing is to always be prepared. And remember, if you're doing this for your business, the safety deposit box becomes an actual tax deduction. And that way you can save very important documents for your business there and that ICE drive. And you put your personal one in there too. Then you need to do rotation. How do I actually make sure that I'm keeping my information updated? Make yourself a schedule. Literally put it on your schedule that, pick the day, for 15 minutes, I do the backups for my personal, I do the backups for my business. Because if you don't, then, and Jim will tell you, the day you need it, it won't be worth it to you. Yeah.
I rotate every Friday and every quarter I test.
That is absolutely a fantastic plan. Now, I'd say for businesses, I would test probably monthly until you're absolutely secure in what you're doing. For personal, I think quarterly is more than enough. Now, when I worked at CETA, I worked in operations, which explains, yeah, I learned it from my dad. And I implemented the first failover worldwide of server farms in less than 15 minutes between 3 server farms in the world. And nobody said it was possible. They all told me it was not possible. Yeah, it's possible. You just have to think outside the box. And I actually also fixed some stuff for the operations teams because nobody thought about them. Engineering don't always do what they want at first and think about the customer or the user last. Do that same thing about your businesses. Think about your customer first. How are they interacting? Is things going right with everything? Is it working for them? If you're quote unquote breached, how does it affect your customer? Matter of fact, how does it affect what they call your brand, meaning your company's name? If you get a breach, especially being mom and pop and smaller instead of a big corporation, it could end you.